Okay.
I just want you to just think about the actual words. Forget about woman, man, or whatever, right?
Okay.
Women have different agendas than men, right? You can look at a man and be like, well, he's single because he want to smash chicks, right? The average woman may have a point in her life where she just wants to hang out and just get, I don't know, just sleep around or whatever. But overall, women want to be taken by a man. She wants to be somebody's wife, somebody's woman,
Want
right?
to be led by a man.
Right. So when you look at a woman that's, I don't know, 47, right? 45, right? And she ain't got no man. That means about 30 years of her life, she has failed at getting a man or
I don't
keeping a man. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on.
How do you know?
Everybody be quiet. Y'all triggered asses. Be quiet.
But you were talking to me.
I know, but can y'all let me damn finish? Everybody want to unmute. But
let them talk.
Do y'all see how upset y'all got instantly?
I was not upset.
Listen. Do y'all know how to actually listen without talking? So I just gave y'all a scenario and I wanted y'all to just look at the raw numbers. A woman spends 30 years of her life, her adult life, not being able to sustain a relationship, regardless of how you want to look at it. That is in some type of way problematic, either on her end or on somebody's end. Why can't you retain? It's like a man not being able to keep a job, right? A man, well, I can't keep a job, and he's in his 40s. You're gonna be like, yo, is there a reason why you can't keep a job? Yeah. It's the same thing with a woman to a certain degree.
I raised my hand. Can I ask?
I was on a grade A talks. I got to hear from her first. Y'all.
I'm gonna bring that back up.
Go ahead. What do you think?
Well, okay, so ask that last part again, please.
Okay, look at a 40-some-year-old woman. That means to a certain degree in the last 30 years, she's 45, 47, she started dating when she was like 20 or something like that, So 25, 30 years of dating.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to want her. She ain't ever been married or whatever. And then you can look at a guy who's 47 or whatever, and 20-some years of being an adult, he can't keep a job. So wouldn't you look at both of these adults and say, there's something slippery about this person?
Those are red flags.
Yeah, they can't retain people or something. You know what I'm saying?
But that could also be, attributed to her mental state. Because a lot of people, just because you're older doesn't mean you're mature.
Right. But that's a red flag.
That's a red flag, Right. So,
like, for example, 10 years of my life was with one woman, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be able to figure out what went wrong in these people's lives. Yeah. And you're like, yo, so when you look at a woman being older versus a woman being younger, that does be looked at as a variable. Like, yo, why nobody don't want you after 30 years of dating men? I don't care what you say. That's
with the exception that she wasn't just recently divorced.
Right.
Because I have a 45-year-old friend who's recently divorced and just started back dating. It's women out here like that. So everyone not just damaged goods.
But that means somebody wanted her and they took her off the market.
Until they didn't want her anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring Pink in here, and then we're going to go ahead and transition to the next topic. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. You got to unmute.
More than one exception associated with why things happen or why people aren't in relationships. Or why
what did you say? You was muted for a second. What did you say?
I'm sorry. I said, is there not more than one exception associated with why people don't obtain jobs or relationships?
Well, everybody wants to be the exception. So no, there's not an exception because people always look for excuses on why something didn't work out. But overall, when you just look at the raw variables of the person, instead of trying to find the exception, that's when you'll be able to see the actual real life red flags.
Okay, so and this is just my personal ideology about it. When it comes to relationships and when it also comes to jobs, there's two different criteria associated with it: experience, availability, and what it is that you're willing to put up with.
Same thing.
And
Job and a relationship.
if it doesn't work within your means or what it is, your standards, your boundaries, the things
Same
that you have
thing.
going on within your life, then it just doesn't necessarily work for you.
Both of those are synonymous with a person and a job. Everything you just said.
I'm not denying that factor. What I'm saying is like relationships are something completely different because women, you want to, if we're speaking to women who have been single for a multitude of years and they're 40, if they set boundaries and things that put them in a place to say, you know what, I'm not willing to tolerate certain things, just as if I'm not willing to accept a certain level of pay associated with a job that I have experience with, why would I put myself in that situation in comparison to staying with what it is that I already trust and believe in? You know what I mean?
Think about this. If you want a job, why don't you have a job? If you want a man, why don't you have a man? Because hold on. When you want something,
hold on, y'all both can't talk at the same time. I know her volume is a little bit. I know. Let go.
The job is something that I need and require in order for me to be able to sustain my lifestyle and everything that I have going on. A relationship is not that the same. It's something that I may desire, but I don't need in order for me to be able to sustain life. So a job, I'm willing, yes, is absolutely take on whatever is necessary. Otherwise, but a relationship isn't, we're not necessarily in the same boundaries of what it is that I should be able to do, accept, or understand. Like,
well, that's actually part of the problem, though, because if you're a person that doesn't think that a relationship is essential to your life, that is one of the red flags right there. If you just think about that, because a relationship and a job are literally synonymous to everything. You need to be in some type of relationships with friends and, you know, in order to become a better person. But if you can't keep friends, you can't keep a man, you can't keep a woman, just like if you can't keep a job, it looks like, you know, because when you go to a job and they see your resume and, you know, you can't seem to keep a job, they're going to be like, yo, what is you doing? What have you been doing? So the only difference between a job and a mate is it's not on paper where you can easily tell what happened. So it actually makes it the same, but even worse, because if you can't keep a man, there's an issue.
I think it was just a generalized statement.
Hold on, voice. Andrea had a question and go to voice, and we got to move on, y'all.
Okay.
Go ahead, Andrea.
I think that, like, I feel like I wish that people would stop living like in 1935. Like, I feel like we need to stop living in this time period where the only thing women was good for was cooking, cleaning, getting married, and birthing children. I think we're living in a very progressive time, and women realize that there are other things that they want to pursue. So if they decide that they want to stay single up until a certain age, that's their business. That doesn't mean that they're mentally unstable. That doesn't mean that something is wrong with them or that they failed at something. It probably just means they don't feel like dating because most men walking around aren't very smart. And so they choose to not deal with men who just say things because they just think words sound good, and realistically they're just misogynistic and feel like the only thing you should be doing is cooking, cleaning, and being in a relationship because relationships determine how successful you are in life. I think that some of us here tonight need to get out of the civil rights movement and stuff like that and step into the times that we're living in now, where women are doing great things that doesn't involve men.